Let's talk NBA Finals Game 2. The Spurs lost. I knew they was going to lose. As long as they got one win in Miami, I think it's going to be a good series. Miami feels real confident, especially the fans. You should have seen my news feed on the Facebook. Heat fans were just quiet throughout the entire game, and as soon as the game was over, they was like, "Woo! Yeah! We're winning!" Y'all people don't know what y'all talk about. Get your little happy selves somewhere else. Y'all still delusional. Y'all still believe that y'all got the power of everything in you. This is not how it's going to go down, man. Did you hear that speech? Did you hear what he was saying? You had to. He was wired up. It was at the end. It was a terrible speech. This is going to be something that you drool about in 25 years. What? What is this guy talking about? Even though the Spurs were able to keep LeBron James underneath 20 points, it was still like there was something that Miami was doing that made them successful, and it's kind of worrisome because I think they may do it again. When I go to stats, I'll just suck. They were playing two-man ball with LeBron as the key focus. They was throwing the ball back and forth to each other. They set up the pick. He goes on the roll. He throws it back to LeBron. LeBron blows it back to Chalmers to make a layup. D-Wade had high energy, burnt himself out early. Obviously, they came out there like, we got to make up for this. The Spurs are not going to go into this lighthearted, but they're not going to keep up with you and try to play you your game. They're going to gauge you. They're going to let you run yourself out because, in all honesty, I know Miami's got to be tired. Don't have to show it. I know LeBron is struggling. He could barely get the ball in the air. I mean, even the Spurs are tired. Leonard looked exhausted on the court at some points. During the third quarter, I could see that he wasn't there. He was grabbing on his shorts, and it was early in the third. And Popovich didn't call a timeout because he had already used two of them. So, I understand. I understand what Popovich is trying to do. At the same time, both teams are tired, but I think Miami is more beat up because they played the Pacers. What you going to do in Game 3? In Game 3, Ginobili has got to get it right. Ginobili has to get his rhythm back. He has to understand that he's a key player. Tony Parker is playing beautifully, but it just feels like everybody's rhythm was off. Timmy's rhythm was still off. Ray Allen is still not a factor. I don't know why people were excited about Ray Allen. What we need to be worried about is Mike Miller. Mike Miller is the Shane Battier of last year. You got to look for Mike Miller. When Mike Miller step on the court, you got to put a hand in Mike Miller's face. Do not leave Mike Miller open, Spurs. I'll go right back to what I've said a million quadrillion times. Stop focusing on LeBron. Focus on everybody else. LeBron is not going to win this game by himself. It's everybody else. Nobody's paying attention to me when I say these things. LeBron James is not the focus. He is the key player in that team, but he is not the focus. LeBron is making plays for everybody else now. See, LeBron has been listening to himself. He's like, man, you know what? I don't have to do this by myself no more. I don't have to take it back to Cleveland days. That's when they tried him, they asked him in the Game 1 in the meeting, they said, hey, you going back to them Cleveland days? He says, I don't know. I take it game to game. But in all honesty, he don't want to go back to Cleveland days because Cleveland days mean I'm out here doing all the work by myself. You got a team full of ballers. Use them. Bosh stepping into his range. These dudes were prepared. Spurs don't need to worry. But it's something to look for. You need to look for LeBron focusing on other people and not taking advantage. You have to look for Bosh coming back into his range and doing his thing. You have to look for Mike Miller. You have to look for Dwayne Wade being tired and get him exhausted. I want to see T-Mac and T-Mac days. Play the bench, let the bench get some play. Not because of rotation-wise. I think the bench need to get some play because this is going to be a physical series. It's not going to be a physical series like the Pacers series. It's going to be a physical series like who can outrun who. Who's got the stamina? LeBron got called for that terrible foul. He got called for a bunch of terrible fouls. I don't even think he touched Tim Duncan in the head, but he got the foul, and I like it because I'm going for the Spurs. Good job, Joey Crawford. He had some good defense in the beginning, but you know what good defense means? A lot of fouls. So obviously they need to cool off a little bit and let these boys chill. But the Spurs aren't really that great of a shooting team. Well, not even the Spurs. It's just Tim Duncan's not really a good free throw shooter. Every time I see Tim go up, I'm like, he couldn't miss this. And when he makes it, I'm like, oh my God. I'm hoping for another exciting game. Heat fans, of course, enjoyed it. But in all honesty, I don't like to see a blowout. Blowouts are boring. Leonard is a regular looking dude. Leonard looked like I know him. That's how Leonard looked to me. Leonard looked like I seen him before somewhere. I think I know Leonard. Matter of fact, I think me and him went to high school. I think Leonard braided his own braids like a real thug. D Wade and his cliche motivational chant. How can you not be original? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing when we're not looking? You're sitting around on the court like, okay guys, this is what we're gonna say. You ready? B-E-E, aggressive. And Bosh is over there like, girl, yes. I don't want to get fined. Hopefully the Spurs get back on their game because they're actually pretty good against the pick and roll. I don't know what happened to them. And I mean, I honestly feel like Popovich told them, yo, chill out. We don't need to work that hard because it's game 2. It's only game 2. We don't have to work that hard. I don't think anybody was disappointed. The guys on the sideline, they were chilling. They didn't look sad. It wasn't over for them. They still have their confidence. They're going to go back out there and they're going to do their game. I still say the Spurs can win game 3. And if it does go to game 7, which I'm hoping it goes to game 7, it's still going to be Spurs game, regardless. Spurs got this series in 7. Know what I'm talking about?